go. I probably should have muted my mic on that end before I clicked it. And why isn't the chat working? Pop out chat. Where'd you go? There we go. Now it's back. Now I load this. Now I load this. Hello.
First one on the call, Nathan.
Load this so you can see what I'm doing. Now I'll go to this so I can see that. Ha! Happy 18th anniversary for Teenage Robot. My God, how the time flies. It feels like it was the 11th anniversary 7 years ago.
When we first started this announcement. Well, when we first started the rebooted.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I need the... Do it. All right. Okay, I got that up, got up this, up that, and then pop out this chat. How's my audio? Seems okay. Okay.
Yellow.
Hey.
Yolo. Oh, that's right. I gotta share. Gotta copy, and I gotta go to this. Go to that. Gotta go to here. Announcements. There.
Mashup Matchups is asking, Tonight and Crew, How goes the forget which number episode?
You mean the first episode? It's going good.
Going okay.
I really hate.
Being worked on.
Is there like a place to get? I gotta go to Home Depot tomorrow.
I really thought the Home Depot theme was being played just then.
Okay. 22. Wah bum bum. Bum 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 bum.
Dun 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 dun.
Are you doing final animation yet? On this thingy I am. Maybe my music is a little too loud. Hold on.
Maybe my music isn't loud enough.
I can hear it perfectly fine, for sure.
I don't wanna overwhelm it. I really gotta just like... I'm getting there with this. You know? There's a lot... Got this going. I haven't done the wings yet, but the wings are just like... one
That's
shape.
the reanimated shot?
Yeah. I have Tuck like rough animated as well, but I don't want to reveal that yet. I want to keep that a surprise because I'm doing something a little different with that.
You just spoiled it on stream.
No. I'm not showing what I'm doing. There's no... Where's Tuck? I don't see him.
Yes, Zero, I am going Gondol mode.
Which Steven Universe characters would you compare to the Teenage Robot characters?
Huh. Interesting.
They're kind of... I don't know.
I mean, everyone compares Jenny and Spinel, but like, that's purely by design.
Yeah, that's visually.
As
Yeah.
visually.
I don't know.
Oh,
They got mental... All the... Steven Universe is basically mental issues, the show.
Yeah.
I
think the closest is Jasper and Smitus, maybe. Warmongers.
Yeah. I can see that.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't question it in between. Just roll with it. Oh, we lost Nick.
Yep.
Man disappeared. There he is.
All right, my mic is like cutting out for some reason. I had to go back in and actually unplug and then replug it back in.
Mm. How do I sound anyway? There's seems to be something being picked up on my microphone. I don't know what that.
You sound fine to me.
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
I have headphones on.
What is going on? Why isn't it?
Ooh, we got thunder here.
Uh-oh.
Whew, I lost power there. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, spaghetti and Axel, that's not helping. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
What's going on? Nathan's cut it off.
I lost power. Momentarily.
You lost what?
Power.
No. Great.
That's just a thunderstorm.
And you're glitching out. I think it's like
For
you're.
this 18th anniversary, Sebastian becomes the robot.
Oh,
You
Oh,
are the
no.
robot. You are the robot.
you know what? I have no problem with this. I have no problem becoming mechanical.
Good.
Axel is very much a fan of your music, Eric. He is bouncing his head up and down and trying to attack the phone.
I find it so interesting that birds are among the one of few species in the world, or groups of animals in the world that recognize musical beats.
Oh yeah,
Not a lot-
that's
not a,
that's crazy. They've got
what,
quite the cognitive process going on in their heads.
what I'm trying to remember. What are the other ones? It's like birds. It's not a it's a list you can count on one hand.
Maybe cetaceans,
Maybe
like dolphins. Maybe
I don't know if they recognize music.
I'd assume
though.
like I'd assume like maybe chimpanzees or orangutans.
Ironically, I don't think so. I don't think they recognize
Let me.
beats. I could be wrong though.
I'll go ahead and look it up and see if
Because like it's very specific. Because like an animal might hear the music and be intrigued by the sound, but it won't recognize the beat. A bird will recognize the beat and start like bobbing to the beat or singing to the beat. You know. That's the crazy thing, that they recognize that.
yeah, birds are definitely on the list. I mean, cows like music. Like they'll produce certain flavors of milk depending on what kind of music they're listening to. But elephants
Elephants,
recognize music. Dogs prefer classical music. Yeah, cows and dogs recognize music.
What? What? What's this?
What's up?
Sorry, but I thought somebody called my name and said something interesting to me. Sorry.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to sit this live stream out. This weather's doing a number on my my mobile data, and it's messing with the power as well. So
Ah.
Oh, man.
yeah, sorry.
All right.
I mean, I'll see y'all around.
Stay safe.
Will do. Adios, friends.
See you
For
later.
now. A word helps. Just by turning the mic into something else. I think you guys can hear me a little bit better.
This thingy.
Hey, XJ0's here! Happy anniversary, y'all!
Hey.
Hello.
And Veggie, how many episodes did you guys record?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Most of the season 4 episodes, I think.
How many animators do you all have on the team right now?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Anybody else heard the horrific news of Chris Chan rhymes with grape in his own? Yep, I've heard it. I have heard it. I'm offended. Not just offended, but horrified. And if you go to my Twitter page, you could probably see that little post. Yeah. What the hell? What the hell did... She is saying that the person applied and got accepted but hadn't heard anything back.
Oh, what's their name? Hold on.
Gage.
Gage Moscato. I'll take a look. Okay. Iron B. Okay, yeah. Yep. I got you. Give me 1 second. Is that? Hold on. I'm listening to a random lo-fi mix, right? And for some reason, Peridot is here. Like, legit, like, she's, like, integrated into the lo-fi mix. I don't know what's that about, but okay.
Power from Steven Universe.
Yeah, I just heard her voice talking about how she's stuck on Earth.
Oh, no.
Interesting.
Copyright.
It's fine. It's mixed. I checked the description. There's no copyright strikes on this thing. Whenever there's, pro tip, right? When you're listening to music and stuff on YouTube, or if there's a video that has music in it that's been auto-detected, it will say so in the description of the video. So it's like, by looking in the description of the video, I can tell that there are no copyright, there's no copyright music in this because there's nothing's gotten dinged. You know? Anyway, Iron, what? This will be kind of funny if they go. Hold on. Sent. Introduction. There we go. Oh. Oops. Oops. Oh. That would have been awkward.
What? What went wrong?
Did not mean to do that. Okay.
What went wrong? Was it because of something I typed in the main chat?
Nope, it's me.
What?
It's not just on mine. We recently.
Okay. That would have been a bit awkward.
There it is.
Can you imagine if the theme song had an extended version as to Destro?
Not only can I imagine it, but we wrote it.
Yeah, we did, actually.
So, yeah. Just gotta make the bloody thing. It's written. No one's gonna notice that a little bit right there. Okay.
Extended theme better be around 2 minutes or something closer to an anime theme.
Oh, I
Levon
mean,
Media says.
we wouldn't, that the theme song wouldn't be that long. Good lord, that's such a waste of space for an episode. But the song itself, it's like what, 4 verses now? So yeah.
Death metal version of the theme would go hard.
Let's do it.
Metal. Does anyone know any screamers?
Me.
Good lord, we're already almost at an hour. This time flies. At least I'm doing much better in terms of time. Remember the first time we did this? It took me the whole thing to just do this pose.
Yep.
And now it's like, now I'm at least getting
Oh, right.
a little bit quicker with this thing.
Yeah, right.
The people demand to know what graphics tablet do you use and what software you use.
I am using Toon Boom Harmony. I am currently using a Wacom Mobile Studio 16.
There you go.
Granted, I am very much considering selling this tablet and getting a different one. I don't...
Get a who or something like that.
I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired of this tablet. It's heavy. It's the screen isn't what there's a bunch of dead pixels. It still operates, obviously. I'm still using it, you know, but like, I don't know. I feel like there's a better option out there that I could be investing in instead of.
There are some display tablets that are actually lightweight and you can take it wherever you go.
Yeah, the thing that attracted me to the Mobile Studio 16 is that it's mobile. It's got its own computer in it, so it could like, I don't need to have it hooked up to my own computer. I could like technically take it on the go. However, downside is that also, in my experience, its cooling system when it's on its own is not sufficient enough in order to keep it cold or keep it cool. So it will totally overheat and kill itself.
So just submerge it in water when you use it.
Yeah, that'll fix everything. Why not? But yeah, the last time when I so now whenever I use it without a computer attached, I absolutely need to have like a fan on it at all times, because otherwise it will just overheat and it refused to turn on, and I have to send it back in for repairs.
And you get the red ring of death.
No, it's not even that. I would call it the black screen of death, because it's not even the screen doesn't even turn on, even though you can hear the computer whirring itself back into life. It's that's what I had to deal with. How long ago was this? Semester wise? Trying to remember.
If Nick brought back this show before the rebooted teammate episodes, would you guys make shorts instead?
Yeah, I'd be open to that.
Yeah, maybe comics.
Yeah. Because the whole point is like reviving the show. If they revive it first, I mean, that's like, there it is. I mean, I wouldn't just throw away what we got. That'd be stupid.
Yeah.
That'd be stupid. I wouldn't just throw it away. I would upload what we got and in whatever form we can get it out there. But yeah, I would obviously, it would not be as intense anymore, because I mean, the show would be an actual show again. So.
How long have we been working on this project?
7 years.
7 years publicly.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's like, oh my God, 7 years. Why isn't that anything done? Why don't you have an episode, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I'll tell you exactly why. Because when this project started, believe it or not, I was the ripe age of 15 years old. I was a dumb high school student. Now I'm a dumb college student. Point is, we're a bunch of amateurs who do not have a giant studio operating and have no money. And on top of that, we all have jobs and schools to take. Like I said, me specifically, I'm a college student right now. Used to be obviously in high school way back when. All that stuff, jobs, life, all that, family comes first. So it's like, we don't get up in the day and jump on the computer and start working on this. We get up in the day and go do work and go to school and then come home, do homework or make dinner or something like that. And then maybe at the end of the day, if there's some time, we work on this. That's life. So that's why it takes forever.
Yeah, that's life for you guys.
That's why it takes forever. We're not a giant professional company. It's just Bunch of amateurs on their computers at home.
Yeah, basically.
Are we still looking for artists to help?
Yes, of course, always. Especially if you can draw. Come on down. Its door cannot be wider open. I could metaphorically bust down the door and just make a giant hole in the wall. Just come on in. I don't know how else. There are so many people in the rebooted community where I'm like, hey, that's some great art you got there. I don't know how to make it more clear. Do I need to grab someone by the collar and just like get in their face? Hey,
no.
Hey,
Hey, no.
you would do really good if you would join the crew. By the way, if you want to help out, shaking them. A little light slap on the cheek. Hey, wouldn't it be great if you sent in an audition to be on the crew? I think it would be real great.
Make like a business card.
Nicole Animations asks, wow, do you like work for Nickelodeon? Just posting this on YouTube. I wish I worked for Nickelodeon. Hey! Nickelodeon! You want a full season of scripts that are like some of them are already recorded. Some of them are already boarded. You just want a jump start? Come on, like hit us up, man. But no, we don't work for Nickelodeon. We're a bunch of fans. Just
All right, I'm back.
here, the prodigal son returns.
Yeah, right.
Although I'm kind of interested.
Ugh.
Ooh. D. Hey man, I like your art, Dumbledore said calmly, shaking the artist. That's great.
Oh God, no.
Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Are you guys making episode 1 or are you making a whole season?
What?
We have yet
How
to
do I answer
discuss
that?
that.
How do I answer that?
We have yet to discuss that.
No,
The answer is yes.
Hold on. No, I think
Making
I'm not.
two
I'm
whole
not going to go into
seasons?
details. I'm not going to go into details, but I will say, because this is important to be be clear about this. I'm not going to go into details because this is still a work in progress. But we did recently have a very large meeting about things. We are focusing now more so on one episode activation day over working on a 1,000 episodes at once. If that makes sense. So I guess the answer to that is focusing on activation day. Without going into too much detail, because stuff is still being worked out. But yeah, I think that covers it. Without going into too much. Way back, that does. If you go way back when this was starting out, yeah, the classic answer is, oh, we're doing it all at once. But like, yeah, it's all like, we want to get you guys something. Other we're gonna be here till we're 40. Anyway.
I've run it away for 20 years.
Something's not right. It's an in-between. Don't question the in-between. Don't question the...
It is so hard. It is so hard to not...
Wait, what?
In-betweens.
Okay, because like if this was a stagnant pose, right? There's a million things. The hair is a little off center. I don't like that. The bolts aren't right. The pigtails, one's bigger than the other. But then you get to the final pose, and it's like, well, there you go. Yeah, that's better. It's like I just gotta keep like that in mind, that this is an in between. You know, it's not meant to be 1,000% on model, because it's meant to be in between two poses. The poses need to be on model, but this is a transition. Look at those feet. I would never make a pose like that with the knees. That's awful. But when you see it in motion, see this, dude? Like, there's the proper pose, and that's the pose before it. That makes more sense. You need something like that in the middle.
How would one go about trying to join the team? There's an email on the website and a bunch of audition information.
Mm-hmm.
Can look for whatever position, but I think the thing is that I think some positions are less open than others. Like, I think animators are the really critically needed ones.
Right now, anyway.
Yeah.
Zero asks, can I shake your hand?
No, because COVID.
I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand.
Come instructions, man.
Is the part 2 animatic almost done just in time for August 1st? No, because today is August 1st, and no, it's not out yet.
If all goes according to plan, you might see something of it sooner than you'd think. But is that still happening?
Not entirely sure yet.
Yeah, we're still not sure.
So many poses.
Nick, are you being driven into insanity?
Yes.
Hold a what a.
Oh god, that
what,
was an explosion.
here we go. Ad roll. Here we go. Animator. There you go. Welcome. Oh, speaking of, I gotta do what's his face now too. You. Audition. Accept as. Dear Mike. Send. Ah, there you go.
Oh, boy.
Maybe I should just turn that into a meme. Why isn't it still an emoticon? I should probably just make it an emoji. There you go. Fuck you! Okay, he's got a nut there.
Is anyone the editor of the title cards at the start of each episode?
What? What?
Oh, the title? Yeah, the title cards are cool. We did a few designs of that earlier.
I think he's asking if there's a position for that. If there's a position for that to make title card and credits.
Oh yeah, sure. We have sketches of the designs we want to do for him.
I think that also contributes to background art, wouldn't it?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Graphic design, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something.
Does it take place after season 3 of the original? Yes.
Well, of course it does. Why else would you think we would say?
Well,
like,
the
it is
activation
the
days
original?
activation days a prequel, and specifically
Yeah.
that one, but everything else is after. I can't read that aloud, but that's funny.
Oh boy! Yeah, yeah, I received that comment too.
Is there any date that the activation date episode will be coming out at least?
I want to get it out sooner than later. I'll fully admit the tough part about the part 2 is there is a lot more action and a lot less slow moments. I'm very comfortable with slow moments with animatics and drawing and stuff like that, and animating even as well. Action, I'm a little rusty, and I gotta like. It's a little because you blow through 20 poses within 10 seconds. With slow stuff, 20 poses will get you like a minute of storyboarding. It's completely different.
Personally, I like doing action shots. I do like doing them. There's a satisfaction level. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy to do action animatics. But I do think that they look a lot better than whenever I try to do the slower, more conversing shots.
Because like on me, like I feel like I gotta buck up and try and learn it. But like what I've been experiencing with some of these fight scenes that we've been doing is that I can't even do it in Storyboard Pro. I have to just jump into Toon Boom Harmony and start just like stick figure animating like the fight sequences. Otherwise, like I just don't feel the pacing, the beat, like slow stuff. Like I said, I can it's slow enough that I can like be detailed with it, with the posing and stuff like that, and you can just feel the weight of the expressions and the camera angles and stuff. Fight sequences, like I said, you gotta blow through so many poses within 10 seconds to properly orchestrate. Okay, someone's punching, or someone's doing a jump kick, or Jenny's bringing out a gun. You gotta go through so many poses in such a short amount of time. It's like, well, I might as well just open up Toon Boom Harmony and just start sketch animating it,
Yeah.
To get a pace to it.
Ooh, this is an interesting question that I've never seen before. What other underrated shows do you guys think should get rebooted by fans?
Other shows
That's a good
rebooted
question.
by fans. Well, if you're implying that you're thinking about it, let me give you a word of advice, okay? Let me give you right now a word of advice. I'm gonna get the microphone real close, ready, real close, right here. Don't do a full series.
Yeah.
Maybe do a short or like a fan episode, and then
Or maybe a film.
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, and if that goes well, there you go. Then maybe like
If
that goes well. Yeah,
So
don't be like 15-year-old me in high school who's like, what? Why not just do 2 seasons? Why not? That'll be so easy. It's just you. I got a tablet. I got an animation program. I can work out the details.
That can do it all for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god. Now I'd say definitely have an idea of where you want to take the series if you do plan on, going somewhere and trying to do something big with it in the future, but don't jump in trying to literally flesh out an entire series expecting it to go well.
Yeah, it's especially if you're an amateur who has never especially if you're an amateur who might have, even though that you might have animated before and you've done some bunch of little short projects for like school and in your free time and just for fun, just like be realistic, It's like I'm trying to throw out what we've learned.
Ooh, yeah.
We're all trying to be artists. We're all trying to make it big one day. It's just like, be realistic.
Simply animate a whole series
Hey, hello.
on your own.
Isn't it?
Wait, who are you?
Oh.
You're How are you doing today?
Hello, Ironbird.
What's up?
Hey.
Hey.
I find it very funny how you were once just in the chat and now you're here within an hour.
That's right.
Comical timing.
Ironic
Absolutely
timing,
based.
actually. Hey, we're not based.
Well,
What?
it's a good thing to be based, isn't it? If
Yes, yes, it is.
Granted, if you know me, I am outdated with my slang. There's been multiple times where I've confused people
Same.
with what I've said. Apparently, I think in recent memory, apparently the phrase egg on my face is very outdated because when I said that aloud, people did not understand what I was saying.
I think that was during a meeting too.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I need to update
Egg on my
slang.
face. Bro, what does that even mean?
I know.
You don't know either. Ah! All right. Okay, egg on my face. It means when I think it refers to
When you're embarrassed.
yes. No, I think it the origins of it. I think it is that goes back to like someone juggling eggs or someone cooking in the kitchen. Basically, egg on my face means you just screwed up monumentally and did something stupid. And you recognize it's stupid and now you're kind of embarrassed about it. Like, oh, damn. Kind of like if you're a chef and if you're cooking a cake and you somehow get egg on your face. Wow, I got egg on my face. Or if you're a juggler, you're juggling eggs and it lands on your face. Oh, I got egg on my face. The phrase implies that, wow, I just screwed up and did something real embarrassing. Oops.
Who cooks a cake or who bakes a cake and ends up with egg on their face? Has that ever happened to anyone?
I think that's the point. It's like, wow, look at look how stupid the stupid move I just pulled.
Nah, but there's stupid and then there's ending up with egg on your face.
Well, sometimes chefs bakers, chefs, they like to be flashy sometimes.
Ah, yes.
I mean,
Gordon Ramsay juggling eggs
No,
while cooking cake.
I was gonna say Gordon Ramsay, perfectly cut a chicken blindfolded or something like that. So
He did do that, yeah. I remember that episode.
So I don't doubt that at some point in history, some point in human history, some baker or chef decided to toss an egg into the air and try and catch it in his pan, and it landed on his face.
Man, that's a
Actually-
bad day.
Somebody asked, are half the people I'm hearing teenagers?
I'm
No, we're all
I'm not-
middle-aged men.
Yeah. I'm 107.
You listen here, sonny boy.
Good news, everyone.
Back in my day.
What? I just said I was 15 7 years ago, so do the math. I'm 22 now.
You what?
That's a good impression.
That's a really good.
We'll be delivering a delivery of subpoenas to Sicily 8, the Mafia planet.
The mafia. Very the platypus.
A platypus? I like how the running. I wasn't a biggest fan of Phineas and Ferb, but I really did appreciate the gag that Doofenshmirtz never assumed that a platypus was Perry. He always had to see the hat.
Plot twist: the hat's name is Perry.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan immediately gets canceled because he's not the biggest fan of Phineas and Ferb.
Look, all right. I
never
know it's a
even watched
popular
Phineas
show.
and Ferb.
I know it's a popular show.
Me.
I
Trust me,
kinda-
You're not
I-
the one who does not like Phineas and Ferb. I don't.
I kind of got tired of the gag. Pretty like after the first season or two, and they were still doing the whole shtick where they build something, the sister tries to bust them, and then the mom comes home and it's gone. I kind of got tired of the same thing over and over again.
Okay, but the ending of the show was kind of goated.
Yeah, I think I watched a clip of the end where they were all like suddenly although the designs I think were a little weird. Although I guess that's because I got so used to them looking like kids. But yeah, the ending wasn't too shabby.
What's it? Shoot. Yeah, that was actually a big fuss back whenever the show was like first pitched or something. Whenever it first tried to get on air, they denied it because they said that it wouldn't work because all of the episodes are basically just repeats of themselves and people get tired of it really quickly. Didn't end up
Yeah,
happening.
I don't deny that there were specials and stuff where they did stuff differently. It's just like when I just got tired of the main shtick, you know. I'm not denying though. It's just it has a great sense of humor, and oftentimes I find myself watching clips on YouTube out of context. It's just I don't think it's not just like I'm stammering. It's just one of those shows where it's like it wasn't for me, you know. Overall,
It's all good. I mean, the format is definitely not perfect.
mm-hmm. I wonder if I can get 2 poses in before the end of the meeting. Or the
Two full
live-
poses?
Live stream. I'm cleaning up this stuff, so.
That's right.
Will there be Mad Jenny scenes?
Mad, like, in the sense that she's angry?
I guess so. She is a teenager. Teenagers get angry.
We're gonna have a
Not-
character, but they can never be angry.
When do teenagers ever get angry? I've never heard of that before.
I know teenagers like have no emotions,
No.
especially teenage girls.
That's facts.
No offense to any teenagers out there currently listening to this. We were all there.
Yep.
Ah.
Who do you guys think is the hardest character to draw?
Tuck and Sheldon. Easy.
Easy
Jenny
choice.
is Jenny, you gotta get used to the circle head. That's the hardest part for Jenny. She's got such a perfect circle for a head. That's, you know. And I guess you gotta kind of learn the proportions between her pigtails and her body and her boots. That's a little tricky too. But once you get those down with practice, she comes pretty simple. Tuck, on the other hand, oh my god, I hate his head so much. I hate it. His body is always easy. It's always just a little
His
like
stupid face.
His stupid face.
Imagine going up to someone and complimenting them like, "Damn, you got a very circular head.
See,
You got
like,
the perfectly round head."
Like right there. That's basically Tuck's body
your-
right there. And you
Your
what? You draw
earlobes are very perfectly aligned.
the arms.
Yep.
Draw the arms, whatever. I'm not doing. But then you get to the head, and oh my god, I hate his head so much. It's like a chip. It's like a diamond shape, but it's rounded, and you gotta like. There's an ear here, and you gotta like have this thing here, and his hair is like kind of like comes in at a side like this, where it's kind of like it's got a right angle to it. This isn't coming out. And then see, this is wrong. Now I'm recognizing. And then I don't know. I never know where to put his goddamn mouth. It's like I know his eyes are always so huge.
And by the way, somebody asked, have you thought about giving animation classes?
Giving? Oh man, I don't know about that. I've been taking them mostly. But yeah, I hate Tuck. I hate his shit. And then Sheldon's a runner-up, where Sheldon has a really weird. His ear is like part of his jaw, almost, and you gotta like.
His head is basically a coffee pot.
Yeah.
His ear is the handle. And it's kind of like it's pouring his hair out.
I'm forgetting, and what he has like this thing, at the back. He's got two little things up here. What is it? What is his? I forgot what his hair looks like up top. This is like when he was an agent. He had that slick back. What's the?
It's just like 3 spikes, isn't it?
I completely forgot. But like, yeah, I don't like Sheldon either with design or drawing. Wakeman's not too bad. You gotta kind of like. You gotta start with the goggles and then draw this line, and then it kind of all comes from there.
Moon.
The half moon, yeah. Because now I know her goggles are gonna be there. Her ear's gonna be here. Her other hair's gonna be right here. Draw it down, and then.
I always have the most trouble
Ta-da!
drawing.
There you go, Wakeman. And what, Brad? Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I always have the most trouble with Smitus for some reason. Like
He's
if
pretty-
it's just
He's pretty
it's just
tricky
like a-
too.
basic, like how I draw my storyboard animatics, then it'll be fine to draw him. But like actually applying like every aspect of his design, it's a bit much for me.
Brad's pretty easy too. He's just a Dorito head.
Yeah, it had for sure.
Upside down paradigm.
So it's really Tuck and Sheldon that I hate.
Some people
Gotta give
say
Brad
that-
Peridot hair.
Brad Peridot hair.
That's an image.
That is an image.
Little Dorito.
Some people say XJ5 is hard to draw.
I completely
I
forget about sisters. Ugh.
XJ5 is the one that floats
I
and is
just
voiced by Kasusi.
I just completely forget about
But
them.
so is XJ4 actually.
Hardest sister for me. I don't draw them often.
Yeah,
honestly.
me neither.
I don't draw them enough to have really a strong opinion. I think XJ7 is the easiest, I think. Because I'm already like imagining what she looks like right now.
Isn't XJ1 just a circle? An egg?
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's what's tricky about her is about where her lines go.
Oh, that's
Otherwise.
true, actually.
Got a lot of detail in that little egg.
Yeah. And she's got like a brain that you got like not a robot, not like a brain, but like she's got like a robot brain that you got to take into account.
Isn't it a light bulb?
Yeah. Yeah, XJ7 I think is the easiest. I think the hardest part about her is that she's got her treads that you gotta like. I think I need to see a reference for that. And she's obviously she has something going on with the body that I'm forgetting, but yeah, pretty simple.
Axel cutout.
Oh yeah, Iron Bird. If you hear squawking, that is my bird.
Nice! It's made of iron?
Nobody likes to chew it. It's not healthy.
Oh.
Catch him
I've
chewing
always-
on my chargers and stuff, and it's not fun.
I've always wanted a bird, but I have to stop myself and think like you're not ready for that level of responsibility.
If you're doing this, you're definitely not ready.
Yeah. I've had parakeets. They're loud and messy.
I have a Quaker parrot, and he is the epitome of chaos.
Waker parrot.
I've always wanted a raven, but I hear that they're the worst birds to even have as a pet.
I don't know much about the corvids.
Apparently,
But-
they're messy as hell.
I mean, all birds are, regardless.
I know, but like corvids, apparently in particular, are really messy.
I know toucans are really bad. Like every
Dude,
time they
where do
go,
you even get a toucan?
I think it's got to be a rescue.
exotic pet traders, like exotic pet traders or something like that. Like every time a toucan goes, it looks like a crime scene. It's not pretty. Parrots, they're pretty standard. They just they like chaos, so they're messy. I'd say if you are to get a bird, go with a dove.
A dove.
Doves are they're very pleasant. They're really quiet whenever it comes to birds. They're messy, of course. That's just how it's gonna be. I think they're generally low maintenance. And you don't need like really fancy or special perches. They're not necessarily fans of like stick perches. They like flat surfaces since their feet are built to walk rather than hang on and grip. They're not zygodactyl.
Imagine not being top of the food chain.
You know what I've also always wanted, but this one's like legit impossible. It will never happen. It can't. Like it's people have tried and failed. I've always
A
wanted
rhino?
I've always wanted a pet bat.
Oh.
Why?
Wow.
Cause they're so cute.
I love bats.
They're not.
They're
I
so
really do love
adorable.
bats.
I love them. They're so
The
cute.
giant fruit bats. The giant fruit bats are basically dogs. They are basically dogs with wings.
Yeah.
I've heard a book called Stelluna that discusses fruit bats.
Yep, Stoluna. I remember that book. I think my cousin was actually named after Stella. Yeah, I do love bats.
And they're
Although
also
they are-
kind of awesome in that they're the only mammals that learn to fly, like
Right.
legit.
Powered flight.
Well, yeah, I guess there's gliders, but I don't really count that.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying powered flight.
Mhm.
That's true flight whenever it comes to biological species.
I bet I could learn to fly if I just gave it like a week or two. Simple.
It's called a wingsuit.
No, I'll just flap my wings. Easy.
What advice would you give to someone who is learning drawing or animation?
Ooh, it depends on what stage you're at. Well, who is asking?
Don't
that?
use Adobe Animate.
Hold on.
I use different
where's
variety
that
of
question?
softwares.
Where's that question?
Ruben Leonardo.
Ruben Leonardo. Ah! Learning or drawing? Well,
That's kind of a difficult one.
it's hard to say without knowing where somebody's at. If you're starting from square one, right? Like completely out of the gate. Don't know, this is their first time picking up a pencil and trying to draw something and animate something. My word of advice is to not jump to animation yet and just stick to drawing, like getting your form down in drawing in the first place. Because animation, at least 2D at least, it's really all about your draftsmanship and your sense of timing. So your first order of business is to learn draftsmanship, like know how to make proper posing, or at least learn how to draw posing that's easy to read and stuff and that can express emotion, all that jazz. And then when it comes time to it, then you start animating and that'll start getting your sense of timing. And you always start with the bouncing ball, so you can learn how to express weight with squash and stretch, all that jazz, which all feeds back into draftsmanship. Animating, like I said, it's basically a harmony between draftsmanship and sense of timing over time. That's basically the gig.
I think the best general advice that I like to give out whenever it comes to art in general is do it because it's fun, not do it to impress people or some like some in the moment impossible goal. Do it because it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah. That's honestly that's probably the only reason this project is still going, honestly. It's because it's fun.
I'd say also use look at some of your favorite shows and dissect them and see how their styles are like differ, how they animate their shows. That'll give you some ideas on how
Or
to do
even
your own
movies,
kind of stuff.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, another like a great. And always, this is also important when you're learning draftsmanship and learning how to draw posing and stuff like that. Do not be afraid to trace. You have to, if you want to publish that publicly, you have to emphasize that you traced. But it is the only time tracing is an awful practice is when you try to hide the fact that you traced and try and pass it off as your own work. But do not be afraid to trace an expression or a pose or something like that because when you do that, you're teaching yourself how to draw that pose with your muscle memory. It's a very valid way of learning how to do something. What people get in trouble for is, again, when they try and pass off that trace as their own original work. Don't do that. That's not something to do. But learning draftsmanship and posing and stuff like that, tracing is a completely valid thing to do. Because it's just, you're teaching yourself.
I always like to credit sources as well if you do put it online.
True, but yeah, also that if you're gonna post your trace publicly, you absolutely need to post the source. And just say basically it's basically a big post of I'm just learning. I'm you're gonna get yeah, because there's the stigma where they're gonna go, you're trying to steal my work, and some people do, because some scumbags do. They try to trace and pass off the work as their own. But if you're just learning, it's like I see that as completely valid. It's like I'm just starting out.
Will you guys try to find a Jenny actor, or are you going to make her not talk?
Oh, we got an actress.
Hmm.
And we have a few backup actresses on top of that actress. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I think I've mentioned this before, if all of our Jenny voice actresses suddenly go away and never return, I'm gonna grab my sister and drag her on into the booth because she sounds a little like Jenny.
Uber Duck AI.
Or that, yeah. Although someone's got they gotta tweak the Uber Duck Jenny thing because it doesn't sound the greatest.
It doesn't.
It could be better.
Not the best. It gets an idea down, but it's not the greatest.
Do you think Jenny would reconsider making a deal with the government for funding for her family to be able to buy fuel and attend school in return for a contract to formalize her law enforcement job? So basically a bounty hunter.
I feel like she's not...
I don't remember that from the show.
I see what you're saying. I feel like that would be a discussion of like when she starts thinking about career and like what she wants to do in life. Because right now she's not thinking about that sort of stuff. She's thinking about teenage she's thinking about high school and thinking about going to parties and thinking about making quote unquote being popular in the sense of like, being accepted as a person. That would probably be later down the line when she's like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? Always the hand. I hate the hand.
I'm having like major trouble going from like that front shot with her, I don't know, what are they called, ponytails or something,
Mm-hmm.
Pigtails.
Pigtails going from like that the front on shot to the profile shot.
Oh yeah,
Because
it's a trick. Yeah. Let me tell you. I'll tell you the trick. Okay. This is sometimes you can cheat it, but in a grand scheme of things, I'm oh good lord, that's why you use the circle tool with drawing Jenny's head. Anyway, so since Jenny's pigtails are kind of got the Mickey Mouse thing going on, where they're always kind of pointing in the same direction of each other, and are always kind of visible on the side of her head no matter where she's looking. When she looks at you dead on, you kind of have to decide something. You either have to decide that you're going to draw it like this anyway, and just have her look at you like this, and if you want her to turn around this way, you just, you know, basically move the face to do that. Or, if you're going to have her look over here, like that, at that point, you got to do opposites, where they point the opposite direction from one another. And they've done this a few times in the show too, because there's a general rule of thumb. Again, this isn't a hard rule because there's plenty of shots that cheat it, but there's a general rule of thumb: you cannot have Jenny's pigtails change direction with her head, as a general rule of thumb.
That was the mistake I made.
Yeah,
I had him pointing in.
Mm-hmm. They gotta stay stagnant.
I've seen him do like with the pigtails pointed inwards, like when she's flying and she has the rockets at the end.
Yeah, that counts as a transformation, because because normally with the pigtails you got the bolts down here, right? When she goes rocket, I mean it's right over here on the side. They slide down, right? The bolts come down to about the center of the pigtail, and the back of the pigtail like is now touching her cheek, and they got a little rocket coming out of it.
I kind of have a shot like that one right there, but it's going from dead on to that sort of head turn. Yeah, and I ended up drawing them like perfectly inwards.
Yeah,
and maybe I should have just stuck with something else.
No, yeah, it's tricky, and even though I went through all that, like I said, there are some shots where you just gotta cheat it in some regard, and you gotta cheat the rule and do an awkward transition. But it's like it's why it's so awkward is the reason why you want to try to avoid it first. But I don't deny that there are some shots and animation poses that like you can't avoid it. Because I've run into that myself a few times. Yeah, I've run into that myself a few times, and you can even like the show itself has done that a few times too.
Well, I wish I had seen that like during when I made the keys and played them back before I started doing final rough animation.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a pain to go back through like 6, 7, 10 different frames and redo part of them.
What season do you think is the worst and best?
3 is the
One
worst.
for the worst.
What?
Really?
I don't like 3.
I don't remember.
Stammering. I don't like how season 3 got so much more comedic. Like it got. Look, I'm not against comedy. Obviously, I'm not. I like a good laugh. I just don't like how season 3 was like largely jokes. There was hardly any serious moments in season 3 whatsoever. Meanwhile, in season 1 and 2, that I felt like there was a lot.
The last episode.
Even then, they kind of played it up for comedy. Like no one was like actually.
Oh no, Queen Vexus.
No. This was Turncoats when this last season, the last episode of season 3 was Turncoats when all the sisters went haywire. There were like the way sometimes like I would imagine if that were a season 1 or 2 episode, it'd be more like that Sister Sledgehammer moment where, yes, there was a bunch of jokes in it, but there was also like a couple of beats where the sisters were just like genuinely sad that they were fighting Jenny, you know, and she's like been corrupted and whatnot. There was no moments like that in Turncoats. It was just, oh no, the sisters are fighting us. We better fight the sisters. And the way they handled them was like a lot of comedic moments. Like I think a few times the sisters, I was surprised
Like,
that they even like,
that's the dust. Boom.
Yeah,
was
that's
a-
true. What's the best season? My vote's in for season 2.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards season 2 as well because that was the season with Escape from Cluster Prime. That was my.
Oh,
that
was it?
Well, I guess
Paramount
I
Plus
guess
said
it's
it was
like-
season 3.
it depends on like how you rank it, right? Because Escape from Cluster Prime was technically set between season 2 and season 3, technically. It's also when they reformatted some of the character designs and carried that over to season 3. So I guess you can technically put it in either season, but I like to count it towards season 2 because I feel like, like story-wise, if you look at the stories and the characters and how they emote and react and stuff, I feel like it feels more closer. It feels closer to season 2 than it does to season 3 for me, even though visually it does gear towards season 3 a bit more.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair then. I don't like the writing from season 1 though.
I mean, I'm not here to dunk on anyone's opinion.
Yeah, all right.
My opinion based and right. Your opinion cringe and wrong.
And I'm not. Yeah, there's a few episodes
No.
from season. I should say there are a few episodes from season 1 that I do not enjoy. There, I think.
Yeah.
The preschool dropout. I really don't like that episode. I think that was
Terrible episode.
I don't like that one.
episode.
I think season 1 was just generally the writing, especially the dialogue, was just very, very cheesy.
Yeah.
like,
there was a
even
few
for-
moments.
for this show.
There was
Well,
a few
it's
moments.
also dated.
I don't deny. There's a few moments like that. Yeah. I think there's a few episodes in season 1 that I really enjoy that are like that save it from being the worst season for me. Specifically, I think the Party Machine episode. I really like that one. Not necessarily for the story, but I think I reference that episode a lot for the facial expressions and the posing. I'm a big fan of. They got a little off model with it, but I think they got off model in a way that's very appealing to me. Especially with Jenny's facial expressions. There's a few moments that's like great. But yeah,
I liked The Great Unwashed. That was a good one.
that was a fun one.
That was a banger. Gotta bring back that paint job.
For real.
Yeah, that's what we gotta explore. I always like. I'm surprised the show didn't explore especially after Victim of Fashion. I'm surprised the show didn't explore different outfits for Jenny more.
Real. I
Love the potential for Jenny's outfits.
Because of course we're not gonna we would not replace the classic one. Obviously, that's what everybody knows her for. But like, I don't know. There's so much you can do with outfits and stuff for
Standalone?
Jenny. Like, I'm sorry.
Disguises.
Mm-hmm.
I found it really interesting how they played with lighting in the show. They didn't really add a whole lot of shading. It was when she was in a dark place, her colors went more purpley.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great aspect of the show, of the art style. That's like they just they could play with color so much.
They did it a lot.
Especially that sort of hand-drawn look. Very retro. I love it.
Yeah.
That's what I hope to go. That's what the goal with me with the animation or the look of our stuff is like I want to hybridize it where I talked about this before. I want to take that fun with colors style and mix it with modern ways of adding lighting to 2D animation that a lot of people do nowadays, especially with using programs like After Effects and stuff. There's a I wouldn't want to say easy, but a easier way of adding shading and highlights and stuff to 2D animation nowadays than it was back in the day, where you had to legit animate other lines on top of your already drawn stuff, right?
Yeah, or like what they would do is have a whole other, I guess, layer for it. Like they would have the whole version. I guess you couldn't do that though with this show because of how our colors changed. Like they'd have to actually do that directly on, I guess, Jenny's sort of character instead of having a separate shadow.
Yeah, another way of doing you could animate the if it's all one shade of the shadow or whatnot, you could technically, like, I'm thinking of a hue slider change that you could animate with it. But yeah, in a general, yeah, and especially because they were the way they animated it back in the day, it was hand animated but then digitally colored.
Yeah, there were a lot of those. I mean, what shows? I remember because this show definitely did that, and so did what was it? Regular Show.
Yeah, all of the basically nowadays it's all digital. I don't think anybody does paper anymore unless they're like unless the animator is like classically trained, and like it pertains to them specifically. But nowadays most everybody uses tablet from the get-go.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because paper looks really good, especially if it's done right.
Yeah, but I think the benefit to it is that everyone does agree that traditional animation looks better. So like the goal, like what a lot of people have been trying to do is trying to convert, or find ways to make digital animation more and more like traditional, and just
finding the same appeal.
Right.
Yeah.
And legit, there are some. I don't know. There's some animators that are like professionally trained Disney animators. They have their tablets set up now, where their pen is textured like a pencil. Their backdrop is colored like a piece of paper, and even kind of textured like it too. So even when they export it, which they all do it digitally, it's all digital, but it looks like pencil animation, regardless. There's some people who are doing that nowadays too. That's what I kind of found fascinating.
I think James Baxter is the prime example of that.
James Baxter is a national treasure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know how much he did.
Animation. With that in mind.
Doesn't he teach at Cal Arts or somewhere like CSUF?
I have no idea. I know he's got a tutorial on YouTube that I've been meaning to watch, but he's got like a crash course.
I know a couple Disney animators do.
I gotta watch that sometime.
Huh. I remember hearing he taught somewhere, or he's like a professor at some college that surprised me.
There's also Aaron Braze, who has creatureartteacher.com. He has a lot of animation tutorials and just drawing and painting in general as well. And I think we're pretty much running out of time because we hit the 2-hour mark.
I want to get it's the head though. It's the Can I squeeze it in? Can I do it? All right, lightning head draw. Let's do it.
Oh, he animated on Gravity Falls too.
James Baxter.
He did the opening sequence.
Yeah, he did the opening, and I think they also brought him in for a couple sequences in the finale. And so he kind of does that a lot, with Cartoon Network.
He does a lot.
He did that for Regular Show. He did that for Adventure Time.
Adventure Time, yeah.
He also did that for
Steven
Samurai
Universe.
Jack.
He's
Yeah. Oh, he did. He animated that scene in Change Your Mind.
Yeah, I feel like he's an expensive, like he like requests big money because he's such a professional grade animator, but like so they get him to do a specific scene, like we want you to do this one in particular.
I mean, granted.
Okay, but that ending scene with White Diamond, that is like one of the craziest paper animations I've ever seen. It's only like 10 seconds long.
So
That's amazing.
beautiful.
It
So
looks
good.
3D.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked to hear that wasn't a 3D model.
Me too. And I saw the comparison on paper versus like the actual colored one, and it was just immaculate. It's insane.
Absolutely. So I was gonna say, oh yeah, I mean, James Baxter, of course he's gonna be expensive. I mean, he's a Disney animator. Actually, he did some DreamWorks animation too.
No, yeah, he was one of the people who left Disney for DreamWorks.
Yeah,
way
he
back
worked
in
on
the
How
day.
to Train Your Dragon 2. He did the shot with Volca climbing down from her dragon's wing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he did that shot. He did the shot where Volca's like, well, at least I'm not boring, right?
Was he? I didn't know he did 3D.
Yes, he does do 3D. I was shocked to find that out too.
James Baxter
Granted-
could probably have drawn that all on paper and made it look like better than a 3D rendering.
He probably could have.
Probably, yeah.
Probably could have.
I'm just surprised. I did not know he did 3D.
I didn't know.
Granted, though, because I will throw it out there that DreamWorks has that custom animation program. What do they call it? It starts with an A. I'm so jealous. I want it. It's in-house.
Okay.
Like, they'll never release it. But it's... what's it called? What's their in-house program called?
What does DreamWorks use to animate 3D?
What does Disney use?
Another in-house. I'll tell you, there's no point... Well, I guess Maya is technically industry standard, but, like, when you get to the big companies like ILM, Disney, DreamWorks, they got their own in-house stuff. Maya ain't gonna help you there. Anyway, where is it?
I mean, they could use something and just like write their own scripts for it.
Presto apparently is the animation software of Pixar Animation. Presto.
Presto.
It starts with an
Cap.
A. DreamWorks
I know
has
Caps, computer animation production system for Disney back in the 90s.
Apollo, that's it. Apollo is their animation software, DreamWorks. And what's crazy about Apollo, and why I'm really jelly of it, is that it combines... what it basically is that it was made almost by animators for animators. And obviously it was made by programmers, but like the programmers, when DreamWorks was developing this, they had the animators write out a list of things that they wanted this program to be able to do, and they handed it to, like, their team of animators did this, and they handed it to the programmers, and the programmers, built it, and then they sent it back, and they went back and forth, and that's how they eventually developed this Apollo animation program. This thing hybridizes a lot of 2D animation properties. Like, you can go in and you can, like, pen over the 3D with 2D that you would eventually, like, as, like, notes and stuff. And, like, where you kind of want to sketch out where you kind of want to throw your 3D model, where you want it to go. And it's like, you can do all this crazy stuff that's, like, I'm jelly.
Cross between Toon Boom and Blender.
Yeah, kinda.
I think it's available for Linux fans secretly, if memory serves right.
Not
Linux
secret anymore.
fans. So that's nobody. All
I
four
don't
people
think
on
so.
the continent.
All 4 people.
I don't think so. I don't think this is something they would be kept. This is an in-house animation software. This is something they would never let out.
It's not open source.
Yeah.
I mean, they could release it for Linux only, and it would get 0 downloads.
Yeah, it would. Although I will say, I'm surprised that companies aren't taking an advantage of that, where they release their in-house software for purchase for. Although I guess, because I guess it's a double-edged sword, because on one hand you'd be training people automatically to be in your company, you know. On the flip side, by releasing it, you also give your competitors the potential to deconstruct that program and rebuild it in their own form. You know? So I guess it's a double-edged sword.
Just make your own.
Yeah. That's what they decide, because they always these CG companies always cater it to their needs, you know, as a company. ILM, for instance, that's all about realism, all about making it look photoreal and mimicking reality. DreamWorks is not striving for that. They're, you know, look into more building worlds and character animation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, he animated the intro for Islands.
Islands?
Yeah, that miniseries.
I've never heard of that.
What now? Miniseries for what?
Adventure Time?
Oh, Distant Land.
No, the miniseries, what was it, like season 8 or 9? Or not Islands, Elements. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, James Baxter also did shots for Legend of the Bone Napper.
Man, he's just like everywhere.
Yeah, he is.
Dude, that Elements intro is jaw-dropping.
He's only 54. Wow.
I want his beard.
He feels like one of the he almost feels like one of the like I was expecting someone like Eric Goldberg's age. He's coming on 70.
Is he really that old?
He's
Damn.
66. He's 66 currently, but I rounded up. But yeah.
Well, how old was he? Because didn't he work on like really classic Disney films too?
Yeah, he was
Like The Little Mermaid, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
How old was he when he did that?
What's 2021 minus 19? What was Little Mermaid? Was
1989? Yeah.
2021 minus 1989. 32. Well, that's 32 years. My bad. Hold on. 32 minus 66. 34.
Eric Goldberg or Baxter?
Goldberg.
Eric Goldberg did not animate on The Little Mermaid or Beauty.
No, I was talking about Baxter.
He was on Little Mermaid?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, he would have been in his 20s.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
54 minus 32. Yeah, he was 22 years old. If he was on Little Mermaid.
Eric came in 11.
Where did Eric come in?
1992 with Aladdin. Came in around 1991 for Aladdin's production.
Yeah, The Little Mermaid was his third film.
He just like kind of popped out of nowhere, didn't he? Eric Goldberg.
Dude, that is one hell of a resume. Like it starts with Who Framed Roger Rabbit and then just gets progressively better. That's a resume to dream for, bro.
And that's James Baxter. I'm looking at Eric Goldberg right now. Yeah, Eric Goldberg. He kind of like popped out of nowhere. He did a few things in the early 70s. Disappeared for a bit. Did one thing in 77. Disappeared. Came back in 82. And did something in 85. Disappeared again. And then all of a sudden he's on Aladdin animating the genie in 92. Like, just... Hello!
Because he was animating with Richard Williams on commercials and stuff to help animate the thing from the cobbler.
Did you
James
say
Baxter.
Richard Williams?
Yeah.
Yes.
James Baxter. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. He just comes on in. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? 1998.
Yeah, there's nothing before that.
33 years. 54 minus 33. 21 years old. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That's crazy.
Oh, Christ.
I can't even imagine that. I'm 22 and there's no way I can imagine that. He must have been he must have started animation when he was like 10, you know?
He must have been a god at animation when he was 10.
Not sure about that, but
Well, as godly as you can get for a 10-year-old animator.
Yeah.
He just came out of the womb with a Cintiq.
Animation Mozart.
They definitely existed in 1965 or whenever he was born. 67.
fortunately, I don't think we got much time until.
Let's see.
Brew.
Oh, did I tell you guys one of the craziest things that I learned this weekend? That where I'm situated in Chicago, Lollapalooza is legit right outside my apartment. Like I am looking out the window and I am looking at Lollapalooza right now.
I have no idea what a
Nice. Free tickets.
I thought you lived in the middle of O Block.
O Block?
O Block.
O Block.
It's like the roughest gang area of Chicago. I thought that's where you lived.
No, I'm downtown.
Yeah, I figured. That was a joke.
Oh.
Nathan releases his address. I am at his door.
Well, yeah, I know. I specified I'm near Lollapalooza, but honestly, there's thousands of people in this area too. I'd be stunned if you found me.
Yeah, I know. I'm being funny.
Especially since I don't think I've publicly shown my face in how many years?
A lot.
That's 24 hours.
No, I
In
showed
about
it
10 minutes.
Showed it in the meeting. I know that, but
Yeah. That's not public.
All right, I'm gonna dip now.
yeah, we're about ready to wrap up here anyway. I want to finish the face.
Don't think we got much time.
I'm speed running it, guys. I'm speed running. I'm just doing the bolts right now.
Oh God, no.
Speedrun strats.
Quick, put on dream music.
I'll stay to watch him finish the face.
I'm trying to doubt basically a different method of doing Jenny's face this time around, but I don't know if it's going to be an efficient method. Because one way to do it, of how I've done it in the past, and this is a great way of making it sure it's consistent, is you build it through with the line tool and like with specific values all throughout it. The downside is with her, the way her eyes are set up, it takes forever. absolutely forever because she's got those tapering lines in her face. And I'm trying to speed things up with this and see how it goes.
I will say I like Adobe Animate's like copy frame feature a lot better than Toon Boom's.
What feature is that? I don't usually use Animate.
Like where in Animate you can just hit F6 and copy the last or the most previous frame, without having to do anything. And in I think in Toon Boom, I haven't used it in a while, but in Toon Boom you have to like unlink the layers or something, because if you make an edit on a copied frame, it'll do it on both frames.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I think there's a way of turning that off. Like like it's a setting where you can just flip it off and it won't do it anymore. I think, but I know
there might be.
I know.
Yeah.
What you mean.
There probably is, and I just couldn't be bothered to look for it. But
there's another
I
thing
do enjoy.
There's another thing that I don't like in Harmony where it's here. I'll demonstrate. If you can see on this, I'm gonna draw. You see the distance between this frame and this frame? There's about 4 frames in there that it's totally blank. I'm gonna draw a frame right here.
Yeah.
It fills it in. And I don't like that. I don't like how it auto fills it in. If I want to stretch it out, I'll do that. But I don't like how it auto just like, oh, you drew a new frame here? Let me just fill in all these 4 for you. No, I'm keeping it. I'm gonna go to that eventually program. I'm trying to do in-betweens.
Is it filling it in with blank keyframes or?
No, it's stretching this one.
Oh.
See, look, I'll do it again. I'll blah, 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 blah. See how that it just got redder because it stretched it, and I don't like it that it does that. It's very annoying because I almost always never want it to stretch. I'm doing the in-betweens method where I select this pose and I do this pose and then I do what's in between that and then I do what's in between that, and I slowly fill in the gaps. I jump all over the place,
Yeah. That seems terrifying.
I just gotta find where to turn that off. I'm sure there's an on and off switch, All right, FaceTime. Let's do it.
Buried somewhere. Huh.
Another thing I gotta teach myself someday. I don't know how I'm gonna do it because it's currently foreign to me. I want to learn how to animate without lines. It seems so. It's like I've tried in the past, but
animation.
Like kind of like Samurai Jack style, where it's like there's no lines helping you.
No line art?
No line art. That's like
that relies all on your sketch.
Yeah, I'm stammering. I can draw it in like Photoshop and or Illustrate or something like that, but when it comes time to animate it, that's where it's like I don't know how to tackle that.
I mean, you could just cheat and do it in like After Effects.
Mm-hmm.
You could, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
I wonder if they actually do have line art, like fairly rough line art, and then they just delete the layer so that all your colors are in place.
That's what I tried. That's what I tried to do. But that's the thing where it's so tricky about it is because sometimes even with vector coloring, the lines don't necessarily. How do I describe this? Because I tried that exact method with this little alligator animation that I did, where it's a walk cycle. I was trying to get it so I could delete the lines and just there's the color, but when I did that, it came out all wrong. Like it just did not work work the way I wanted it to.
What if you did the line art? Like you actually did the line art, but made the line art the color of its corresponding fill, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I did that yet or not. I forgot, but it was a long time ago. But yeah, it's just one of those styles that it's remain a mystery to me, but I want to tackle it someday. All right, lips. Taper. Yeah, where's the smoothing?
That's it. I'm taking away your smoothing privileges.
Yikes!
Kneecaps are a privilege, not a right.
You've been a bad animator.
Ugh. I'll just redraw it. An animator's best friend, the undo button.
Control Z.
Are we doing the whole? Are we making Jenny's face like it was on the show, like where it was her mouth was like a dark blue? Are the eyes dark blue as well?
No, the eyes are. I got this color code down to a method now. Granted,
yeah, her eyes are black.
Currently, the blue on her is the wrong color. I'm just using that for because what Toon Boom you can do, you can go in and I can change that blue to any color I want. You know?
It's like textures in 3D.
Right. Turn that.
I love that.
I'm just using a blue I can see. But her lip color.
Her mouth is the same color as the body, right?
No, it is not. It's a slightly darker shade. And then her outlines are a very, very, very dark shade of blue-green. Her eyes are black. Like
her outlines are?
Her eyes, both her eyelids, like the outlines, and her pupils are black. That's the only black elements on her body. Everything else is a shade of blue or, straight up white.
I could have sworn her outlines were black. Maybe I'm tripping.
It's very subtle. Like, it is, in fact, a very dark shade of blue-green. Anyway, eyes time.
Hearing a very stuttery version of the theme song.
It's probably, it's the connection.
Yeah. Oh, maybe they are dark blue. Huh. I never noticed that.
Yeah, if you
and I've watched a full episode frame by frame.
Cut out, Axel.
If you ever feel, Axel's cute. Don't be so hard on Axel. He's a little bird.
He was screaming at me because he wanted me to look at him to watch him take yeah.
You wanted to wait. He screamed at you.
He wanted me to watch him take a
shit.
Nice.
Why would he do that to you?
Watch this.
Based.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
I can make art too, human.
No.
He does not like your constructive criticism.
All right.
Why should have that privacy though? Why though?
Well, he's a bird. He doesn't know that.
No dogs. dogs will sometimes stare at you to make sure you're watching them.
Yeah, I know. I got a couple dogs. I know that experience.
Dude, that's the most gang shit ever.
So weird.
They when dogs, be thankful in this regard. When dogs want your attention, they'll do something that they absolutely know that they're not supposed to do. Just to spite you. And I think cats do this as well.
They cry, yo. Trust me, I have a few cats.
I have a cat with wings and scissors on his face.
Yeah.
You chill out.
Okay, come on. Almost there, guys. I'm almost there. I almost got the face done.
Axel is really... Axel is wanting you to finish up because he's getting tired of being cooped up in here.
Hang on, Axel. I just gotta draw some lines and fill in the colors. Fill. Erase. Erase. Is that the right?
Here's a prime example of what I go through every day with my bird.
All right, there we go. That's 2 poses. And 1 last
Nice.
Only took
coming together.
It's a pose in every hour.
Cleanup. I think does cleanup take the longest? I can't tell anymore.
No way.
Rough animation is real easy. It's almost like stick figures. Then there's like the second pass, which takes a little longer, but it's still kind of sketchy. But yeah, getting the cleanup takes forever.
Cleanup is definitely the most tedious, but all the movements are done. You just have to like go over it and clean it up.
It's all tracing.
That's the name.
I don't really have to think about in-betweens anymore. I just need to think about consistency.
For me, the very first like keying takes forever.
Mm-hmm. I haven't done the wings yet, but the wings are basically just 2 shapes that I animated at different positions.
Yeah.
I guess. Because you can even see it, the jump. There's the first shape. There's the second. First, second.
Have we ever seen her wings from behind?
Yes, a few times, but it's rare.
Like actually extending out?
Extending out? Ooh.
Yeah. Like seeing the transformation from the back. I feel like they intentionally didn't do that because it's impossible to figure out.
Yeah, you'd be right. We have not seen that. I'd have to see. What does she look like from behind with her wings out? I keep like, isn't it just like the wings going into her back?
I think so. I have no clue how that happens. It's easy to do from the front because they just sort of pop out from behind. But showing that transformation from the back, I challenge anyone to do that and make it look convincing.
Rob Renzetti did a model sheet of her wings. He posted it. I don't know where that is.
I've seen it before.
I can't remember if one of those poses is from the back.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Like the pose with the wings fully extended, I think, is from the back, or at least partially extended. But there's no.
Rob Renzetti, where are you? I'm on Twitter.
Rob Renzetti's model sheets are just unrivaled.
Well, he does the sketch, and then Alex Kerwin does the cleanup.
Cleanup.
Or most of the design and whatnot. Oh my god!
He has such detailed notes on everything, though. It's so cool to read over and see. It's like stuff you'd never think about.
He posted something and it's amazing, and I'm gonna save it right now. And this is like great reference. Oh my god! Oh my god! How come no one told me about this early this July? He posted a turnaround poses for the Crust Cousins.
What?
Like
bro.
they're models. Like there's their 3/4, there's their profiles, there's their back 3/4. I guess the
Gold mine.
There were pencil drawings because apparently the inked line art versions just like.
True, they're pencil drawings, but like they're still on model. That's a gold mine right there. That's every time. It's so rare to find models of the original characters, honestly, like the main characters at least. Jenny's is all over the place, but if you want to look for Brad or Wakeman or nowhere.
Wonder if there's a deck that's around.
So finding the Crust Cousins is pretty cool, or like finding. He posted it, but you know what I mean. I'm looking for the wings. Hold on. Wings. Aha! Granted, this is from it came from next door. So this could have changed overall.
The first episode or the pilot?
The first episode.
Nice. This
design could have changed throughout the seasons. This model sheet is from the first episode, but that's what she looks like from behind. Yeah, I don't see how that transformation would work.
Yeah.
It comes out of that.
Wait.
It comes out of that triangle thing from her back.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I didn't notice that.
I think I can see how I could animate it from behind if I were to do it.
Because the thing is, how do the like the massive fins, like the things on the end of the wings actually extend out? There's not enough divisions.
Yeah, this is how I would do it. I'll demonstrate right here. If I can quickly sketch out. Okay, so the wings, how they are in this photo, they come down here, and they basically do that, right?
Yeah.
I would have it where I would have those giant fin things slide out first. Then when they leave this line, right? That's when I would have them separate from each other and
separate and sort of swing out.
Right, and then the bottom wings, I would probably, I mean, there's no line there to help. It would probably just be kind of a, you know what? I know it would be. Instead of swinging out this way, like to the side, they would first swing out this way, kind of downward, kind of build.
That's what she does.
Yeah, kind of build that bottom wing and then flip up and separate.
That's right. Because her wings, they come out down and then they go up first, don't they?
Right, and at least when you see them from the front, yes.
That actually makes sense.
But yeah, I do agree that it looks very awkward from behind.
It's still awkward.
Because you would basically, if I were to tweak it and give it some of my own flair, I would have this upper part of her torso. If we're only seeing it from behind, because you definitely can't do this from the front, I would have this part of her torso kind of like shift a bit upward or like outward a bit to kind of like almost imply that it's like giving way for the wings to come out.
Just that separate triangle shape, you could just move up a tiny bit.
Yes, exactly. Just like
and have the wings feed through.
Don't move the head or anything, but specifically this little sliver and just like and then that's how I would do it.
Okay, actually that should be written down for future reference.
Yeah. And then I would move it like it would be like a cool
We're going a little bit overboard.
And then I would move it back into place when it's all said and done, kind of like it's a gun cocking almost, like now the wings are ready.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, we got to wrap up here. We're 40 minutes over. But hey, you people out there got lots of extra content. So why are you complaining?
Only 40?
Anyway, yeah.
Wow.
So see you guys. Everyone have a happy 18th anniversary Teenage Robot. And today is also Happy Spider-Man Day as well. I feel inclined to say that as a Spider-Man fan. Yeah, anyway, see you guys on Discord and stuff. Everybody have a lovely day. The next live stream, if everything goes, if nothing comes up and everything is fine, will be the 29th. So, see you guys then. Everybody have a great month.
See ya.
See ya.
Later.